Yeah, Jermain Defoe, welcome to Sky Sports News. A pleasure to have you. It was actually brilliant being alongside Jermain watching that because you remember every single goal that you've scored.
Yeah, I remember all the goals. Even this. I can look at the pictures and I'll be like, right, I remember that game, I remember this game. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we'll get more into that. I'm going to ask you about your favourite goals and things in a while, but you've just announced that you're leaving your role as a coach at Tottenham's academy. Just explain a little bit about the thinking behind that. How and why have you come to that decision?
I think first off, I was obviously fortunate enough to get the opportunity in the first place. I was at Rangers and I finished there, and I knew that opportunity at Tottenham was waiting for me. So I was grateful for that, and obviously it was just using that as just to complete my badges, because at Rangers I started my B licence, and obviously I wanted to complete that at Tottenham. So yeah, I was just grateful I got the opportunity, but I just feel like at this moment in time now, I feel like I'm ready for a first team environment. I did 2 years there in the academy, it was really good. Some great young players. I worked with some good coaches, Bradley Aaron, Stuart Paul Bracewell, Nigel Gibbs, Wayne Burnett. So yeah, it was for me. It was good to get that exposure. But I think right now I'm ready for like a first team environment.
Okay, so it's giving you the taste to get into first team management.
Of course, yeah, because like I said in that, I think when you've gone to a familiar place like Tottenham and you've worked with some experienced coaches like I've just mentioned. It's something that I've always wanted to do anyway. At the back end of my career, when I was just finishing, I always wanted to go into management and like I said, do my badges and see where it takes me.
Did you have any discussions with Ange Postecoglou about becoming part of his first team setup?
No, there was no discussions. Obviously, I was at the academy. I was focused on doing my work in the academy with the coaches that I've just mentioned. But you understand, at football clubs, your managers have got their staff and people that they've worked with before. Some experienced coaches have come into the building. Obviously, I'm still on my journey, and the coaches that have come in, obviously, I want to wish them all the best in that. But in terms of a discussion, that opportunity weren't there for me at all.
Yeah, and so what kind of roles would you be open to? Assistant roles as well?
I think you just got to weigh it all up, really. I've always wanted to be, obviously, a number one. I think that's my the main objective. But I suppose, in football, you never know what's around the corner. If there was an opportunity there for me to be an assistant somewhere, just to again, learn and help my development as a coach, then so be it. But I think the main goal for me is to become a number one and become a manager somewhere.
And what kind of level of football do you think would be right for you right now? Obviously, you've played up in Scotland, you've got Premier League experience. What kind of level would you see yourself working at?
Again, you never know with football, it depends on the opportunity. When you talk about levels, everyone's journey is different. Some of the managers that I've played under, when I speak to those managers in terms of their journeys, everyone's journey is different. I've obviously played with Steven Gerrard and he managed me at Rangers. When I spoke to Stevie about his journey, he was under-18s coach at Liverpool, and then he got the opportunity to go to Rangers and that. So you just never know. It has to be the right environment, of course, and the right club for me.
Yeah. Have you had any offers? You're open to offers?
Yeah, of course. I've got my CV. My CV's out there and that. So hopefully the phone rings soon and that, because like I said, I think the 2 years at Tottenham, I've managed to learn so much, because when you finish playing, even if you play at the top level for 23 years, there's no guarantee that you're going to be a top coach. I think it's important to put that ego to the side a little bit, and you start from the bottom. You have to learn the role, and it's completely different to being a player in that. So I feel like I've done that. The 2 years has been beneficial for me, and I feel like I'm ready now.
Yeah, and there's probably a lot of people that don't actually know that Jermain Defoe is available for work at that level. What would your message be to any clubs who are looking for a manager and perhaps don't know that you're there for them to pick up the phone? I
think people know my love for the game. I think that's never changed, to be honest, from when I was, from time I was young, and obviously took that that work ethic into my career. I played until I was 39. If someone would have said to me at the beginning, you make your debut at 17 and play till you're 39, I'd been like, wow, that's amazing. So in terms of the love for the game, I love football, and like I said, I felt like I've done my apprenticeship, if you like, being at Tottenham in the academy 2 years. The player to coach course that I did, I spent time sitting down with Lee Carsley for 2 hours, speaking about his journey and what it's like with the 21s. I spoke to Gareth Southgate, about his journey for 2 hours. So doing these things in the background, as well as my badges, just to make sure when I do get the opportunity that I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm going to pick your brains on Gareth Southgate in a little while, so hold on to that thought. But I want to carry on with this theme. We've reported a lot, we've spoken to a lot of kind of black players, managers, who think that there may be a lack of opportunities. They've certainly voiced concern about perhaps a lack of opportunities. Is that something that you've noticed, something that you are fearful of at all?
Of course, it's something that I've noticed. I think it's the figures are there to see. I think, 4.4% of black managers in the game. I've had discussions and conversations with, people like Les Ferdinand and John Barnes and Sol Campbell. I've reached out to Dwight York and Andy Cole. So I've spoken to people that's had that sort of struggle. I suppose that's not really got the opportunity. Of course, there's been managers that have got the opportunity, Chris Hughton, who I'm close to, who coached me at Tottenham. But again, everyone's journey is different. I think that's not something that would sort of like put me off, because I do believe that at some stage I will get an opportunity. I think you just got to keep banging on the door, really. Keep doing what I need to do in terms of like learning as much as I can, because I don't want to be one of those managers that gets a job because it's giving a black person an opportunity. I want to get a job because I'm good enough. And when I do get that first job, I want to do well and have a long career in terms of management.